Wait. Stop right there. What's right and what's wrong was decided a long time ago. Remember, the question is who? By whom? Who made that decision?
General humanity, I'm not sure about your beliefs, but generally from the first human on Earth, and the more we grow as people, humans in general through history, things have been decided that are right or wrong, that harm us or harm others. I don't think it's up to one specific person or region to decide. It's more of a human nature to know that. But a defined decision is complicated between like different people, different nationalities, different governments. And I guess that's what we're talking about right now, the main discussion.
Okay. So give me an example of something that you think is right and why.
Something I think is right.
Yeah.
Anything general?
In the moral sphere.
Moral, okay. Respecting others' beliefs. And maybe not even respecting, maybe just not interacting with it. Like if you believe something,
right.
I wouldn't have any opinion, nor positive or negative. I would not make an idea about it because it's not mine.
Right.
I'll just be isolated by my thoughts, what I believe.
Right.
They don't matter to anyone else, and neither does anyone else matter to mine. It might not be the healthiest.
Yeah. I don't know. I do like to know why people think certain things are right and certain things are wrong. I like to know what sources they get their view from, what their story is.
Of course, it's interesting sometimes to know. But
So
it shouldn't be your matter. It shouldn't change what you think or
It should not.
act. It's just theirs and yours is yours.
Interesting. Now, like something like drinking that we were talking about. If I say it's just I decided because I just don't, it's a personal decision, versus I decided because it's against my religious beliefs. Do you find one more valid than the other, or does it depend? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a response to.
Oh, so you're not even gonna.
No,
okay.
I
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You said that that maybe personally someone wants to drink, but others believe that drinking is wrong. I might have caused a confusion, but when I said that everyone should be free to do whatever they want as long as they don't hurt others and themselves and their personal religion, I mean that I will act within the boundaries of my religion. I will not force it on others. They are free to do as they please, but my religion will dictate how I act.
But what would be wrong with wanting to put your religious beliefs on others, to try to convince them that your notions of right and wrong would also be good for them?
Look, convincing in debate is different from directly forcing someone to do something. Like if I'm in a conversation with someone from a different belief and I tell them that, for example, drinking is wrong, they're free to disagree or agree with my opinion, but I should not go and like silence their views or silence their opinion.
Right.
But of course, like if they're like here it's a law, drinking is prohibited, so that you're not allowed to drink here. But if they go to the United States or somewhere else where it's allowed, they could do whatever they please.
Have you been to the United States?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, but what if you went there and you were surrounded by people who were drinking? Would you take offense?
Well,
Would you feel uncomfortable?
I would not feel uncomfortable because they're doing something that I disagree with. No, mainly because generally when someone is drunk, they might pose a danger or a threat to someone.
So that fits into your notion of harm?
Yes.
Okay. All right, brilliant.
But if someone drank responsibly alone at home, it won't harm me, probably.
So we'll have to have a talk about what does that mean to drink responsibly.
Well,
I'll come right back to you, Faisal. Who had their hand? You did, right? You did not? No? Who else wants to say something? Okay. And then, first you and then Faisal.
Well, I think we're just spinning around the same question here, which is what
Welcome to Socrates Cafe.
Exactly.
We spin.
Exactly. So the question is, what is the notion of harm? If I think harm is you thinking something that I disagree with, where do we set the boundary?
Right, so harm can exist in the intellectual sphere. You know, if somebody says something that you find...
Even because you disagree with what I say, I found that offensive. Is that by then your obligation to change what you think, or is it my obligation to be okay with what you think?
What is your view?
That brings us to freedom of speech as well.
Well, exactly.
What?
That brings us to freedom of speech as well.
Even freedom of thought. If I think, for example, I I don't know. Let's say, for example,
Mhm.
I believe murder is not okay. For example, and you disagree with that. The fact that you disagree with that is offensive to me. Is
Mhm.
that by then your obligation to change your perspective for me, or should I be okay with your perspective because that's your? See, it's the notion of the boundary. Where does it
Right.
end? Where does
What if I'm a vegan? Because I
What if I
believe
find
we
that
shouldn't
offensive?
do raw, we shouldn't eat animals, because I believe that all sentient beings are created equal.
Okay. And what if for some reason I may not? But what if I do find that offensive? For example, if I find
Right.
that completely incorrect, is that then my obligation to change my perspective, or is it yours to change to what I believe?
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. What do you think? I'm here to listen to you, really.
No, I want.
It's-
What are your initial thoughts about that? Should you try to convince others why?
Civilized discussion, sure. But maybe it doesn't even lead to that. The fact that you disagree with something, even if it's just a notion of thought, is offensive to me. If I find, is that like, whose obligation is it to change? Is it yours or is it mine?
Okay.
So I'll reply to one of the points that he made in regards to common wrong. Which
Common
I think
wrong.
which I think is a really good way to measure what is right or wrong. So amongst the community itself, I believe there should be some common agreement, or at least some agreement, in terms of what's commonly wrong. I guess that could be regulated through law or laws passed in regards to what's right and wrong. But I'll also reply to a point he made in regards to authority. So he said that this authority should qualify or should be qualified. Well, who qualifies them? Again, goes back to the community. So in reality, power should be to the community, and they should be the ones who should decide what's right and wrong, using the phrase common wrong.
Right. Okay. So you say in reality it should be decided. Is that how it usually happens?
Not necessarily. No.